Am I audible? Yes or no? Okay, so I was asking like how do you feel like lectures? You want me to change the method, or it's fine the way we are going, or you want to see for 1 or 2 week more? Can kindly reply in the chat. Okay, fine. Still, you can take more time and can see for 1 week or more, and then later you can just inform me if you want anything to be changed. Okay, so let us move forward. Today is the first session of practical, and theory we have almost started. Fine. So let us see what is there in the laboratory session. As I have informed you in the orientation day, that is on the very first lecture, that we are going to use Google Classroom for the submission of your lab work. Hello. So I was talking like there are total 7 practicals, though we have 8 units. So today we will go with the unit number 1, and unit number 1, Java networking. So today we will be discussing about the practicals related to that. So fine. So can you explain the scenario in the terms of normal client server model? I'm asking like, what happens when you request for any network resource using your web browser? In a simple word, when you open a website, what happens technically? Suppose you are opening google.com and you are searching something, right? Can you explain me in the terms of client, server, protocols, network, socket? Can you explain the scenario? Any one of you? Can you explain the scenario? Guys, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Yeah, then please answer. Otherwise, I feel like I'm disconnected. I have that fear always to get disconnected.
First, we send the domain name to the DNS server, and
No,
then
first thing is you will
the
open
D
the browser. First thing is you will open the browser and you will, then what you will do?
will search google.com.
So you'll type URL. This is the step one. Okay.
Then we will enter the URL,
Yeah,
and
that's done. Yo. Okay.
then the page will come.
How page will come?
It will the URL will be given to the DNS server. Then it will search in the all the domain names, and then it will find the IP address of that page, and then from the server the page will be delivered.
Exactly. That's what happens, right? So basically, what happens is, as a client, you will send a request. Okay. As we say, you will type an URL, right? So typing URL and pressing Enter. Can you see my screen? A Word file, and I am writing the steps. I guess uh, my screen share has gone. Let me share it again. Can you see the Word file now? What I'm saying is, you'll have URL. When you type a URL, it is your first request. It is your first request which is going to the network. To the network, right? So when you are having certain things to be passed on, usually through the network, it will go, and in between DNS server will come. It will use ARP, address resolution protocol. It will look into the table where we have host name and IP address mapping, and once it is getting the IP address of requested server, in our case we are talking about Google. So when it is, I'm so sorry, when it is coming, when we have the IP address, your request will be forwarded further. And your request is getting passed from the network. Through network, it is going to the server, right? So the question comes, if you are using a browser, which type of request is you are passing? Which type of request is passing? Are you getting the question? Are you getting the question, guys? Yes or no? I'm asking, like, when you type an URL, this is your first request number one, right? Request for, yeah, exactly, request for web page. But it is which type of request? Which protocol will be used? HTTP. Exactly, Ritesh. It is HTTP. So first you are having, usually with the websites will have HTTP or HTTPS. Fine, anything. But basically the core working is same. We will have HTTP request one. Through network, it finds the IP and it goes to the server. Server is all-time running machine which is having set of programs based on like what you have passed. Based on that, it will give you the response. So always your request number one, which if you are typing www.google.com, you are typing www.google.com. This is your URL, right? You press the enter, so your request is moving through network and going to the server, right? So if I'm writing www.google.com and if I press enter, HTTP gets add on over there. And the thing which you are seeing here is the response, the Google logo. We have a text box. Do you know that this is simple text box? Input type is equal to text. This is submit button. Input type is equal to submit. You can right click and you can view page source. When you are seeing the page source, you will understand what type of response we are receiving. Let me increase the font. Can you see the first line? Can you see the first line? What type of response we are
And
getting?
screen is not visible.
My screen is not visible.
Screen is not
Okay.
visual, ma'am.
No problem. I'm sharing it again. Once it is going, just inform me immediately. I don't know. We faculties are facing this problem. When we share the screen, either we are uh, being out of the meeting, or within few seconds it is like it is stopping the screen share automatically. So we don't know what is the issue. But yeah, everybody is facing. Like I heard from 2 3 faculties. So immediately inform me when it happens. Is it visible, guys? Am I
Yes,
audible?
ma'am.
Can you see my browser screen? So when I type www network is gone. I'm sharing it again. Going something. That time, the first request will always be index.html, first response which you will get. Fine. So that first response will be given to the end user in the terms of HTTP response, right? So what we are doing is, or what we are saying right now is, we have HTTP request and when I type URL and I press enter through the network, through the network, my request goes to the server. So whatever network's first application is resource sharing. Over here, resource is the piece of software, certain code. And what is the certain code in our case? It is a text box and a text box and it is a search button, right? It is a text box and a search button. So through the network again, it will come back to you. It will come back to you, right? So this is like response one through the server. It will traverse the network and it will come back. It will come back to the end user. Can you see the word file with the 2 arrows, right? This is how it works, right? So what is step number one? The protocol HTTP or HTTPS through the client software, like it will go further to the network will use the certain protocols like domain name resolution or like address resolution protocol. It will look into the table, it will identify for this domain what is the IP address. It will go to that machine, it will process the request. Now request processing will be done based on the resource or the query parameter provided in the URL. For example, when you are writing www.google.com, it is the first page. So the default page is index.html, right? So it will go to the server, it will execute the default page, and it will come back as an HTTP response. So you can see this back arrow. You can see this back arrow. It comes back through the network to client, right? So this scenario Right now, this is the first response. This is the first Google logo, a text box where we have a magnifier kind of symbol, and Google search button, and I am feeling lucky button. Now, when I right click and I click on view page source, right? It is showing me certain code. This is the response coming from Google, right? Can you tell me what is the document type? Can you tell me what is the document type? What type of response we are getting? HTTP response, right? But HTTP response is containing the HTML code. Browser to the server, it is an HTTP request. And whatever server gives back is the HTTP response. So when I say HTTP protocol is having two parts. It is having two parts. One which we called header and one which we called the payload, right? Always HTTP protocol is having two parts, header and payload. So header is usually representing the identity of the source, right? Header. And when I say payload, payload is the actual body of the response, actual body of the response, right? So we have two things. Payload are combinedly makes an HTTP protocol. HTML code. Up till now, is it clear? Up till now, it
Ma'am, your
is
voice
clear.
is breaking.
HTTP, hyper breaking. So I'm always confused, like what is going on. Okay, let me try once again. Now, how is it? Is it clear or still breaking?
Now it's clear.
It might. Okay, okay, fine. So what I was telling is that whenever you have any request response model for a web application, you are communicating. If you're using the web browser, the default protocol is the HTTP or a higher version of HTTP, but basically working principle is same. So you have the HTTP request and the HTTP response model. In that case, your HTTP two part. One is the header and one is the payload. So header usually contains. HTTP payload. Fine. Up till now the scenario is clear. Up till now the scenario is clear. Or any question?
Clear.
Okay. Okay. Now, right now we are talking about unit number one. And as I said you, unit number one is about J2SE standard edition. So we're not talking about web browser and all. Instead, we are trying to work on the console basis because we want to learn from the scratch, right? So that's the ultimate idea. And that's why now request will be sent through your command prompt. So we are going to work on the very basic thing, that is sending the byte sequence or the stream through the Java program, right? That is how we are going to work. So this is the page source of the Google, which we have worked upon before a few minutes. You can open any website in the world. Let us say can you see this? This is for Gmail. Everywhere it is saying doc type HTML.
Hello,
And you
ma'am.
can see we have had, yes,
Your voice is continuously breaking.
I don't know what is happening. Let me try one more time. Give me a second, guys. Let me change the place. I guess you are saying that lots of breaking. It means network issue is there. How is it now? How is it now?
It's good.
Can somebody acknowledge? Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I was telling like this is Google mail.google.com, or you can say your Gmail page source. So can you see the response? It is always the doc type. So what does it mean? It simply means that whatsoever is the language of your website development for the dynamic page, right? The ultimate response will always be an in HTML, because we are working on HTTP request and response model. So we have header and payload, right? And inside the payload will always have HTML code as a response. And that is because we are executing the program, on the server side, and that's why we do not need any programming environment to be installed in our system when we work with the website. But to understand this entire advanced scenario, we have a syllabus starting from the scratch. So starting from the scratch means we are going to work on the streams, we are going to work on the sockets, and then we are going to work upon how we can go with the web development, right? So for the unit number 1, we have experiment set 1, where we have total 6 programs. So starting from program number 1, where we have to write an application to retrieve the IP address of given website. This is the problem statement. Right now, the problem statement says, write an application. Obviously, we are going to write it in a Java program only. Write an application which will retrieve IP address of given website, right? And as this is the problem related to networking, obviously we are going to use the Java API, which is related to networks. And today in the morning only we discussed that when we have API, or when we want an application which is network based on the networks, what we need is which package? Anyone? Which package we need to import if we want to?
Java.net.
Exactly, we will work on the java.net, right? So let us see little bit of theory, because right now the problem is we have not covered the theory, but we can't waste the lab. So what I'll do is I'll be little bit advanced in the lab, though the detailed theory we will discuss in the lab, but still, if you look at the problem statement says write an application which will retrieve the IP address of a given website. It means that if I am writing www.facebook.com, right? Right? If I am saying www.facebook.com, in that case my program should give me the IP address of Facebook. And morning only we learned that IP address is the numeric label given to all the resources or device, like a server or whatever network node we have. We give some numeric label to that, and that is used for the identification of that network load. Fine. So what we are going to do now is we are going to retrieve the IP address. As it is the network based problem, we can use java.net package for that. In java.net package, we have inet address class. So when I say inet address, inet stands for internet. Internet address is basically your IP address. So in Java API, Java Network API specifically, we have a class which is known as inet address, right? And this inet address class is representing your IP address. So if you want to work upon the IP address and host name, you want to retrieve, or vice versa, from the IP address you want to get the name. In that case, you can use the inet address class. Fine, fine. So what I'll require is I am in the need of java.net.inet address class. With the help of that, I can use the methods available in this class. So there are many methods available, but we will talk about this four. There are these four methods which are of our use to understand how we can retrieve an IP address of a given host. So when I say we want to retrieve IP address of facebook.com or IP address of google.com, ultimately www.google.com is a host name, right? It's a host name. So there are methods from that. If I talk about the first method, that is get by name. Get by name. And get by name method is used to get the IP address of the given string. So you have to provide this as an argument. If you want to get the Facebook IP address, you have to provide www.facebook.com as a string, because it accepts the string kind of argument. And what it will return is, it will return an object of inet address. Object of inet address. So when I say it is returning an object of inet address, obviously we need to assign that object to some instance of inet address class. Fine. So if we look at the complete signature, the signature is public static inet address, because it returns an object of inet address type. Method name is get by name. Argument accepted is string host, and it throws an unknown host exception. Suppose you did a mistake. Instead of www.facebook.com, you would have written www.xfixfacebook.com, where X is typed by mistake. So it is an unknown host exception. If your system or if the network is unable to find that host, it will give you the unknown host exception. Fine. This is about method number one. If we talk about method number two is having the name get localhost. Get localhost. Now over here We are not trying to get the host name and IP address of some URL, but we are trying to get it locally. Locally means for your system. If you are working in laptop or you are working on the mobile and you are using some online compiler, and if you are calling get localhost method, it will give you the IP address and host name of your device. Local means within your system, right? So get localhost is again a method which will return the IP address. So IP address is represent as an inet class instance. That's why the return value will be the object of inet address class. Again, if you are something is unknown and something is not happening properly, you will have the exception, that is unknown host exception, right? So these are the first two methods. First one used for any website's URL. The second one is used to get your local host IP address and the host name. The third one, which is public string get host name, this will return the host name from given IP address. Suppose now you want to do reverse. You have an IP address, and you want to get the host name, right? So in that case, you can use get host name. And the third one is returning you IP address in a string format. If you're writing public string get host address, in that case, the get host address will return you the IP address, but that will not be in the form of an object of inet address. Instead, it will treat the return value of IP address as a string. Fine. So these are the variable. These are the method. Along with that, we do have one more method, which is get all by name. Get all by name. Get all by name method is used when you have multiple IP address. For example, google.com is not a single server application. There are multiple IP addresses available for a single host. In that case, you can use get all by name method. So what we will do today is we will use get by name, get local host, get host name, and get all by name method. In our code, we'll try to implement a Java program and we'll see how we can work upon that, right? So as I told you that we are working with J2SE, the program solution remains the same. What is the program? What is the problem? What is the problem statement? Problem statement says we want certain IP addresses. So obviously you need to use the inet address class, which is in the network package. So you need to import java.net.star, or you can write java.net.inet address, right? And as this is the traditional Java program, this program will have class, your class name, and the file name should be same. So in case like if I have a program which is named as inetdemo.java, so after import I need to have compulsory that class declaration having the same name as the class name. So my class would be public class inetdemo, right? And what we will do is we will write the main method, because this is traditional Java application J2AC, and that's why we will use a main method. And this main method, inside this main method, we will call the methods which are get host by name, get local host, get all by name, get by name, get by address, and using all these, we will be displaying output to our console. How we display the output to the console? What is the method in core Java? What is the method? Anyone? Exactly. It is println. So we are going to use system dot out dot println. Over here, system is the parent class, out is the child class, which is talking about output stream. And when you say println, it is asking you that print the output in the new line. ln stands for line. Okay, so we have two variation, system.out.print and system.out.println. Now let us see the actual code of your inet demo. So what I have done over here is I have taken import of java.io.star. The second one is import java.net.io. network.star, right? And then, as I said, we need the class declaration, which should be same as your file name. So my file name is inetdemo.java, and that's why my class name over here is public class inetdemo, right? Public class inetdemo. As this is the traditional Java application using J2SE, we need to have the main method. So we have over here public static void main, throws exception in case if host not found, we may have the exception. So we said public static void main string args as an argument, and we said throws exception. Now, to get the local machine address, what we can do is we can use the method get localhost. So get localhost is the method which is available in inet address class. So what you can do is you can directly call that method by writing the class name dot method name. So you are writing inet address dot get localhost. As we discussed in the theory, get localhost is going to return you the IP address and the host name as an inet object. So whatever is the return value of this code, whatever is the return value of the highlighted code, that is inet address dot get localhost, it will be an object containing both host name and the IP address, right? And the return value is obviously an inet address object. So I need to assign that to the object which is belonging to inet address. So what we have done is we have written inet address. We said A1 is equal to inet address dot get localhost, and ultimately we are printing it system.out.println A1. Up till now, anybody having any doubt, any question? You can raise a query if you have. Are you clear with how to get the localhost values? Okay, fine. Okay. So now let us go ahead and understand the next one, which is getting the IP address using the method get by name. So if you want IP address of a website by using its host name, you can use get by name method, which is belonging to inet address class. And as a string argument. Now see over here, this is not URL object, this is string argument. So what you will do is in a double quote, you will provide a string argument. Fine. And now we have inet address dot get by name, which will return the IP address, right? Name address of a particular host name. So obviously we need to assign it inside the inet address object. So we are giving A2 is equal to inet address A2. A2 is the instance or object of inet address class, right? And we are writing system.out.println Facebook IP without A2. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Clear.
Okay. Now, moving ahead, I said you, the other method is get by name. Get by name, where you can give the IP address. Now you see, this is get by name. Over here, we have provided the host string. Again, we are using inet address dot get by name, but this time the argument is the IP address. Argument is the IP address. So what we will do is, whatever is the return value, we want to get the URL. So for this string, right now this is string because get by name accepts string as an argument. So we have to convert it into the object, right? And that's why we have written inet address dot get by name. So now the string provided over here will be converted into the object because this entire method returns inet address object. So what it is doing is it has returned a new inet address object which is representing the host name and the IP address of given argument. So we are assigning this to the third object inet address A3. Now A3 is containing the IP address as well. It is having the ability to give you the host name. But in order to get the host name, because if you are printing only A3, the way you have printed over here, it will give you the IP address only. But what you want is, you want now host name. You want the URL. And that's why we will call a3.getHostname. a3.getHostname. Is it clear how to get hostname from the IP address? The previous paragraph of Facebook, it is about how to get the IP address from the hostname, and the second one is the reverse scenario, from the IP address how to get the hostname. Is it clear?
Clear.
Okay. Now we are moving to the fourth and the last part of the discussion regarding getting the multiple IP addresses. As I said, you few websites will have the multiple IP addresses. For example, Google only have that scenario. So what we have is we have a method get all by name. Now you see, we are not talking about a single return. We are talking about multiple objects. If multiple objects are there and they are same in the nature, it can be represented using array. So inet address dot get all by name, and as a string argument you are providing some host name. This will return you entire array of inet address objects. So we can't go with the single assignment like inet address host that will represent single object, but I have to work with the array of object, and that's why we are writing inet address square bracket. So this square bracket is saying that it's an array. So now we have created array of object and we named it as a host. The way you have declared A1, A2 and A3, they were single object. Now we have host, which is array of object. So there are so many inet addresses possibly if it is available, right? As they are multiple, we know that array elements can be accessed with the help of for loop, and if you are using the Java, you have a special way to use the for loop, that is you can use the colon and you can get the values. So this is how we have used the power of Java. We are not writing the traditional for loop, though we can do that, but we have not done that. Just to demonstrate you, we have done that if this is the array, right, I can assign all the array elements of host array to a new array, that is IP address. Now I am creating inet address, the object IP address, and it will keep on executing this for loop. It will keep on assigning all the elements until there are values to the IP address object, right? And we are printing it. As this is the Google, I have just simply given a string Google space IP address. So if multiple addresses are there, if there is only one, loop will be executed only one time. But if there are 2 or 3, it will execute 2 or 3 times, depending on how many objects it is giving us as a return value inside the host array. Up till now, any doubt in the code? We close the for loop, we close the main method, and we close the class, declaration class. Okay, so now let us run the application and see what happens. If you want to get the IP address, obviously you need to get connected, because your system is going to go through your Java application, your program is going to talk to network in order to retrieve the IP address, right? So if you want to execute this program and if you're offline, it won't give you the output, right? So let us connect it. How can we compile a Java program? Can anyone tell me how compilation happens in the command prompt? Which command? What is the command? Exactly, Pranav. We have to write Java C space filename.java. Exactly, Ritesh. We will write, our file name is inetdemo. So I'll write inetdemo.java, right? And you can see there's no error. So it has compiled successfully. After compilation, now I have bytecode generated in .class file. And I can execute the file because it is ready to be executed, right? So what is the command for execution? What is the command? Java and file name. Obviously, we will write Java, we'll write inetdemo, and we'll press the enter. Can you see the output? Starting from the local host, get localhost name is the method. You can see the host name is laptop 5A0BA G01 and the IP address is 172.20.10.4. Then the second thing which we did is we have given the host name of Facebook and we say get by name. So that is going to give us both host name and the IP address, and you can see over here it is giving us 157.240.16.35, which is IP address of Facebook. Then we did reverse. I use 154 something the IP address, and let me tell you that IP address is of Facebook. Yeah, so same thing we have used over here. So 157.240.7.35 and we given it as an argument of get by name. So it is going to give us the host name. And you can see here, this is the host name from the IP address, that is facebook.com, right? Right? And now the last thing, you can see here, we have used get all by name. So it is giving us two outcome. Two times the for loop has been executed because I gave Google as a static string, and you can see Google and space has been printed two times. So it means that get all by name and we give the host name as www.google.com. It has retrieved two objects, right? So both the objects are being presented over here. Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay. So that's all from my side for the first session. I guess without a theory discussion, this much is enough. I repeat again, how we'll work in the lab is I'll be doing the discussion, and after discussion, I'll show you the demo, and then you are going to implement it. We are having total 7 practical sets in the syllabus. Each of them is representing one unit. So whatever theory we are learning, we are trying to implement it in the lab, right? Once it is done, suppose in a week or like not in a week, maybe in a 3 week or something, we are completing the set 1, then I'll be creating a Google Classroom and you are going to upload your practical set 1 over there. I'll be giving the format. In the particular format you have to upload your work as well. In every lab you are going to show me the outcome of discussed program. In certain cases, if time exceeds and we are not able to complete the program within the same lab, then in the next lab you are going to show me the entire program. Fine? Is it clear? Any technical doubt or any doubt regarding how we are going to work in this lab session? If no, then I suggest go ahead and implement this program. See, there are only 8 lines, so I'm not going to give like 8 major line of the code. Though there are like main and public class and all, those are there, but only 8 main lines, 8 to 10 lines for the code. So I'm not going to give you more than 10 minutes. Quickly complete the program. And if you have any query, you can ask me.